Hey guys, what's up? So today we are live in this Polity Potion series, and today is the episode 3 of Polity Potions, and today we are going to discuss the part 1 of Indian Constitution, and that is everybody knows about it. It talks about basics of India, what is India, what are our states, how can like a state be acquired in India, can we change the name boundary of the state, whether it constitutes an amendment of India, and everything related to that. So after preamble, it is much logical that we start with the part 1 of the Indian Constitution. So before we get started, tomorrow I am going to start with the fundamental rights, and the course description will have the link of that course. So please watch that. So the description of this video will have the link to the course of my fundamental rights. So I have my notes with me, and so let's get started. So first of all, the part 1 extends from article 1 to article 4, and it includes the part, it says that India, that is Bharat. Okay, so there was a lot of confusion of what we should name our country. So India is derived from the word Indus, okay, so which is there since ancient times, and Bharat is also an ancient name of India. So India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of state. So that is what it means. Both are official names of India. So you have to remember this. It is very much important. It is also called as Republic of India. So that is one and the same thing. And it also states that state and territory will be as specified in the first schedule of the Indian Constitution. Now if you remember the first video of our polity portions, it talks about this only, first schedule. So it talks about the 29 states and 7 union territories which are present in the India. At this, as of this moment in 2017, this is the scenario. So these are the number of states and union territories which we have in our country. Okay, so at this moment you can go to the first schedule and you can read all about it. The last edition was Telangana in 2014. So that was the last state which we added. Now basically it classifies territory of India into 3 types. So the territories of the states, union territories, and these are the 2 things everybody knows about it. But the third is the territory that can be acquired. So this is the third variety of territory. What do you mean by this? Acquired territory basically means, so before 1975, Sikkim was not official full-fledged state of India. So the Chogyal dynasty used to rule over Sikkim. It became part of India in 1975. So that is what is important. We can acquire territory and we can accede territory to other countries as well. So that was the article 1 which says that India, that is Bharat, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of state. It also means कि जो India है उसके जो states हैं आप उनको अलग अलग डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. कल को गुजरात अलग होना चाहेगा, that cannot separate. कल को राजस्थान अलग होना चाहेगा, they can't go their separate ways. So it is very very important that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of state. States do not have right to like separate from the union. So this is the important point. Now states are not sacrosanct. Parliament can redraw the entire map at its will. Tomorrow if they want to divide UP into 4 parts, it can be done. Okay, it is very easy. It is very very easy. The changing of the name of the states, changing the boundary of the states, dividing them into 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4 part, like merging 2 states to make a state, anything can be done, anything. There is no sacrosanctity in India's constitution. On the other hand, USA is very rigid, so it is virtually impossible to divide the states there unless like state wants themselves. Okay, so it is very very difficult because there the states have come together to form United States of America. It is Union of India. So that is what. And so the territorial continuity and integrity of the state is not at all guaranteed by the Constitution of India. Now this is again very important. Constitution does not say that Rajasthan will remain Rajasthan throughout its existence, or MP will remain MP throughout its existence of the area. Obviously you know that about 17 years ago Chhattisgarh was carved out as a separate state from Madhya Pradesh. So like nothing can be done about it. If Parliament wants it, it will be done. So Constitution does not guarantee that the states will remain in continuity throughout. Now there is no consensus here in 1947, 48, 49. No consensus was there regarding the name. So some member of the Constituent Assembly suggested the traditional name Bharat, while others said that modern name India. So that is why both the names are kept. So mix of both Bharat, India, that is Bharat. And so the other thing is, there is a thing that they call it Union of States. It does not call Federation of State. Why? Because we have a past bitter experiences. We had more than 500 princely states. It was very, very painful, difficult, bloody to unite them. And then we had seen separation of Pakistan and Bangladesh from us. So we never wanted any state to separate from us. That is why the term union is used and not federation. So that is also very important. So according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is considered as the father of Indian Constitution, the single most important person behind Indian Constitution is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He says that Union of India phrase was used because the first point is Indian Federation is not like American Federation. American Federation may states come together to make United States of America. In India, states do not come together to make United Federation of India. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Second point is state have no right to secede. States can't secede, can't get separated from the federation. And the third point is it is a union and not a federation because it is indestructible. Indestructible is the word which is being used. And you can see our map is exactly the same since last 70 years. Minor addition and deletion have happened, but more or less it is same, 99%. Now country is integral. Country is an integral whole and it is divided into different states for convenience only. Okay, this is the word they use. Just for the convenience sake it is divided, nothing else. So just for the convenience sake it is divided into administrative convenience, it is divided into states so that local people, there can be local laws for health, education, etc. Now Article 2. So Article 2 states that Parliament by law can admit states into India. So do you understand that point? So they can establish new states on such terms and conditions as it thinks fit. So the Parliament has two powers under it. So power to admit new states into the Union which are erstwhile not part of the Indian Union. The second point is Parliament has the power to establish new states. So according to, I have already told you, in 1974 Sikkim became associate state of India, and in 1975 through the 36th Constitutional Amendment Act, Sikkim became a full-fledged state of India and it was under Chogyal dynasty. So this is according to Article 2A. So it became, so he was extremely unpopular at that time, and in 1973 riot happens in front of the Chogyal's palace and it led to a formal request for protection from India. People of Sikkim asked India to come and protect them, and in 1975 the then Prime Minister of Sikkim, he appealed to the Indian Parliament that please make us a state of the India. So Indian Parliament sent Indian Army. They took over the city of Gangtok. Gangtok is the capital of Sikkim, and they disarmed the Chogyal's palace guards, and a referendum was held during this time. Do you understand what is a referendum? When you ask the entire population through universal franchise to vote whether they want to do this thing or that thing. 97.5% of the Sikkimese population back then, they wanted to become a part of India. So they wanted, and they finally abolished the monarchy, and hence they became associate state. So Sikkim is the only state of India which was ever an associate state, not a full-fledged state. So it is kind of like engagement. So engagement is something official but not marriage. So it has more chance of being called off. But marriage is something which is very sacrosanct. So you can understand in that term. So 35th Amendment in 1974 made it an associate state, and 36th Constitutional Amendment Act made Sikkim a full-fledged state of India. So I hope you are getting the points now. By the way, like we have a lot of great courses coming up on crash course on polity. Recently been finished by Abhishek Srivastav. Definitely must watch. You should definitely follow that person on Unacademy's platform. Like a real treat to watch him on Unacademy, and he has made a lot of great crash courses. Similarly, Dr. Siddharth Arora is also coming up with a crash course on polity. So definitely watch that as well. Now, Article 3 So finally, like the 36th Amendment repealed this 35th Amendment, and Sikkim became a full state of India, and the name was included in the first schedule. Now, Article 3 says that Parliament has the power to reorganize the state. Now, what do you mean by that? This is the entire point. So, when India started as a country, we had a very few states with us. Okay, like the number of states was not 29. So Article 3 authorizes the parliament. Now let's listen to the power and you will be totally amazed. They say that they can form a new state by separation of territory from any state, or by uniting two or more states or parts of states, or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. So they are absolute powers. Okay, state is concerned, nobody is bothered about asking state how is state doing. Nobody gives a crap about state wishes in India. If parliament wants to do it, there is some like they ask for their opinion, but that does not matter in the long run. They can increase the area of any state, they can decrease the area of any state, they can alter the boundary of any state. For example, let's say when Chhattisgarh was separated from MP, the area was decreased, the boundary was altered, okay, and a new state was created by separating a part of a state. Then they can alter the name of any state. Can you give some example? So Madras was called as Tamil Nadu in 1969 henceforth. Mysore was now called as Karnataka. So that is how they can change the name of the states as well. Now the power of the parliament includes the power to form a new state or union territory also, by uniting a part of any state or union territory to any other state or union territory. So nothing is sacrosanct in India except the Indian Union. Everything else is like a melting pot. Today it is part of this thing, tomorrow it can be part of that thing. So I hope it is getting clear now. Now what is the first thing is recommendation of president is needed. So there is one exception though. So according to, you must have heard about the article 370. So Jammu and Kashmir has a special status in that regard. So what does it say? So it enjoys a special power, it has its own separate state constitution, and you can't alter it unless they want to do it. So the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir has to approve it. So first the president has to refer to the bill to the concerning state legislature. जो भी वहाँ का state legislature होगा वहाँ पे concern होगा for expressing its view within a specified period. ऐसा नहीं कि वो 5 साल तक उसको लेके बैठे रहेंगे. Then views of the state legislature are not, this is the keyword, not binding on the president, not binding on the parliament, and they can accept them or they reject them. Okay, like absolutely there is no question, even if they are given in time. For example, if state does not give in specified time, they are rejected anyway. Even if they give in time that we don't want to get separated, like nobody gives a crap about it, and still like they can go ahead. Okay, now again, like no need to make a fresh reference to the state legislature every time an amendment to the bill is moved and accepted in parliament. एक बार हो गया बस बात खत्म, बार बार देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. फिर like in case of union territory, parliament is absolutely supreme and they can take any action, and no reference is needed in case of union territories. For example, if they want to change it in Puducherry, they don't need to send it to Puducherry's Legislative Assembly. Now let us see the Article 4. So we are done with Article 1, 2, 3, and what is Article 4? So Article 4 is a technicality that the laws which are made under Article 2 and 3, that is the changing and altering the parliament states of the Indian Union, they will provide for the amendment to the first and the fourth schedule. Okay, and obviously first schedule will be altered because it includes the territories of the India, and fourth schedule will be altered because it includes the allocation of seats to Rajya Sabha. So Andhra Pradesh and Telangana they separated, so they got their own seats in Rajya Sabha, I think 11 and 7. So that's how you have to remember it. And any law which you make will not be called as a constitutional amendment act. So this is 36th Amendment Act, this is 35th Amendment Act. So that is applicable only for the new things, because it was made associate and then a full-fledged state to repeal it. Otherwise there is no need to do it. Okay, so it will not be called as a XYZ Constitutional Amendment Act for the purpose of Article 368. Now it is very important to learn how did the present picture come into existence. So you really need to know how did India evolved as a nation, how we have started. So first of all, integration of princely states was a really big pain. Credit goes to a lot of people. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was one of them. A civil servant back then, Mr. Menon was very big. He has played a very big role. And a lot of people, Jawaharlal Nehru, these people were really focused to get India united. So there were two categories of political unit. One was the British provinces. British provinces were under direct rule of British government. Like you had Madras presidency, then you have Bombay presidency, Bengal presidency. These regions were not princely states. They were under direct British rule. Then the second category was princely states. Like they were under the rule of native rulers like Hyderabad, Junagadh, Jammu and Kashmir for that matter. They were subject to the paramountcy of the British crown overall, but local rule was of princely states itself. Now, India's Independence Act created two states, India and East and West Pakistan. There was no Bangladesh back then. So, there were three options to the princely states. Obviously, either you can join India, or you can join Pakistan, or you can remain independent. Okay. So, how did the present picture come into existence? So, there was you have to learn about out of the 552 princely states which were there, they were situated within the geographical boundaries of India. So 552 were there. So out of which 549 joined India by hook or by crook, and it was all because of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and other eminent people, except three. Which were these three? Hyderabad, Junagadh and Jammu and Kashmir. So Hyderabad, there was a lot of police intervention, there was action, and finally Nizam had to he acceded to India. Junagadh wanted to join Pakistan, but then again there was a referendum and they joined India. Now Jammu and Kashmir situation was quite peculiar. I have made a separate video on that, so you should definitely watch it rather than listen to me again and again. So you should definitely watch that video where I am talking about how Jammu and Kashmir, instrument of accession, Maharaja Hari Singh and Article 370 came into being. So, Constitution of India had four classification. Part A was governors, provinces of British India. Part B were princely states. Part C was chief commissioners, provinces of British India. There were few princely states, and Part D included Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So, there was huge, the British Bengal included everything, okay, Odisha, West Bengal, present day Bangladesh, then Bihar, some part of Assam, huge. So obviously people can't live in such a big administrative. Similarly, Bombay included Gujarat, Maharashtra completely. So obviously it was not sustainable. So different regions wanted to become separate states, and the noise was particularly very huge from the southern part of India, South India, and they wanted the reorganization based on the language. So language was considered the big part for the reorganization of the state. Now the Eschaton Commission was established in 1948. It is also called as the Linguistic Provinces Commission. They said that it should not be done. This is the key word. Okay, they should be done on the administrative convenience rather than linguistic factor. So obviously that did not happen, right? Most of the states in India are made because of the language preference. Like Tamil Nadu is made on Tamil people speaking, like Malayalam have Kerala, and so on and so forth. Language do play a significant role in India state formation. Gujarat, Gujarati, Marathi, Maharashtra, and so on and so forth. Then there was JVP committee. Okay, it included Pattabi Sitaramayya, Jawaharlal Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel. JVP, and it consisted of these three people. And in 1949, they formally rejected the language as the basis for reorganization of states. Now in 1948, Dhar committee rejected. In 1949, JVP committee rejected. But some time later, Poti Sri Ramalu, so he died after prolonged agitation, and he was a popular Congress person. So after 56 days of hunger strike, he died, and it led to the finally creation of Andhra Pradesh state. So Andhra Pradesh were the people who were speaking Telugu. Okay, so they were separated from the Madras state in 1953. So this was the first state which was created based on the language. Samajh rahe ho? So the Telugu speaking areas, they got separated and they formed the Andhra Pradesh from the Madras state. Then it started other regions also, they started demanding on the linguistic basis. So finally Fazal Ali Commission, this is considered one of the biggest commission in 1955. So they said that the language will be one of the basis of reorganization of states, but it rejected the theory of one language, one state. Okay, like everybody who has a separate language will not make a separate state. That's what they said. For example, they said that there are four major factors. First is the preservation and strengthening of the unity and the integrity of the country, security of the country. So that is the paramount thing. उसके बाद सब कुछ देखेंगे. दूसरा पॉइंट उन्होंने बोला लिंग्विस्टिक एंड कल्चरल होमोजेनिटी होनी चाहिए, ये दूसरा पॉइंट था. तीसरा पॉइंट उन्होंने बोला फाइनेंशियल, इकोनॉमिक एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कंसिडरेशन होना चाहिए. और चौथा पॉइंट उन्होंने बोला कि प्लानिंग एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल इन ईच स्टेट एज वेल एज ऑफ द नेशन एज अ होल. तो ये चार पॉइंट उन्होंने बोले. लैंग्वेज वाज वन ऑफ द पॉइंट. लैंग्वेज एंड कल्चर आर दी वन पॉइंट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट उनके अलावा तीन पॉइंट और हैं. सो स्टेट रिऑर्गेनाइजेशन कमेटी ने 1 नवंबर 1956 को 14 स्टेट्स और 6 यूनियन टेरिटरीज को क्रिएट कर दिया. फिर उसके बाद बहुत सारे पॉपुलर एजिटेशन हुए और काफी हुआ. तो फिर 1960 में महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात सेपरेट हो गए एंड बॉम्बे वाज डिवाइडेड इनटू दीस टू स्टेट्स. मराठी पीपल जो मराठी बोलते थे वो महाराष्ट्र में आ गए और जो गुजराती बोलते थे वो गुजरात में चले गए. फिर 1954 तक दादर एंड नागर हवेली वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट वाज अंडर द पोर्तुगीज. 1954 से 1961 the administrator was chosen by people and in 1961 Dadar and Nagar Haveli it became the union territory of India. Now Goa, Daman and Diu they were acquired from the Portuguese by means of police action in 1961. Please write the name of the operation, I'll really appreciate it. And they were all the three became union territory. But in 1987 Goa was conferred a statehood. In 1987 Goa became a state of India. Puducherry was under like Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe, Yanam. They were under French colonialism till 1954 and in 1962 it became union territory. Now Assam included Nagaland till 1963. But in 1963 state of Nagaland was formed including Naga Hills and Tuensang area. So they separated from Assam. Now interestingly Akali Dal demanded for a separate Sikh land, okay, Sikh Suba as it is called. Punjabi Suba, Sikh homeland. So there was separation. So Punjab was separated from Haryana and Punjab at that time included Himachal Pradesh. So in 1966 two states came into being, Punjab, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh was not conferred statehood, it was a UT. But in 1971 it became a state. But Chandigarh was the common capital to both of them. Now Manipur, Tripura and Mizoram, Meghalaya became state in 1972. Sikkim, I have already told you, it became a state in 1975. Now this sequence is very important, especially if you are writing an essay, if they are asking an MCQ which are the states in order in which they became state or union territory or whatever. Then Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa are the 23rd, 24th and 25th state of India. So Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa, and they became in 1987. There was a signing of a memorandum of settlement which is called as the Mizoram Peace Accord in 1986 between central government and the Mizo National Front. So there were 2-decade-old insurgency going on from 1960s to 1980s and finally Mizoram became the state of India, 23rd state of India. Arunachal Pradesh became the 24th state of India. Yeah, sorry for that. So Goa became the 25th state of India and Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand, they finally were separated from Madhya Pradesh, UP and Bihar in 2000 and finally on 2nd June 2014 Telangana was separated and it became the 29th state of India. And thus the total number of states increased from 14 to 29 and 6 union territories became 7. So I hope there were some name changes also. So United Provinces became Uttar Pradesh and Madras became Tamil Nadu and in 1971 Mysore became Karnataka and Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindi Islands were renamed as Lakshadweep. And finally in 1992 Union Territory of Delhi was redesigned as National Capital Territory of Delhi, but it is still a union territory, not a full-fledged state. And in 2006 Uttaranchal became Uttarakhand and Pondicherry became Puducherry and in 2011 Orissa was named as Odisha. So homework for tomorrow is that watch that fundamental right course by me and I will see you tomorrow in polity portions and thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.